People often ask me, where have you been the last episodes? And I tell them, of course, I'm baking my own bread, not a scrub. I'm growing my own vegetables. And growing vegetables takes a long time. That's why I've been away. That's why I've been away. Now we're doing Theros Beyond That Small. There's some super good cards. This is a mono black card here, which I don't think is super duper strong. We're gonna get in some really strong cards. Almost the entire set I feel like I've been spoiled. There's gonna be more cards coming in, but probably I'm going to post them on my other channel. If you haven't already, then check it out, link in the description. That's where I'm gonna post like the complete spoilers that are probably like me talking 2 or 3 hours or something about every card. Is my plan at least, because I feel like posting one more video seems redundant because almost every card is spoiled. So, without further talking nonsense, where's the there Timoret, chosen from death. It is a mono black card. Toughness is equal to your devotion to black. It's a legendary enchantment. There's gonna be a lot of legendary enchantment creatures. A lot of them, believe me. He's a demigod, and exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. You gain 1 life for each creature card exiled this way. So obviously this guy is supposed to go into a devotion black deck. The problem with this guy is that I feel like he's not super good. It comes in as a 2/2 and it gets more and more toughness. But like having a 2/10, I don't know what you really gonna do with that. Maybe you're gonna flip his toughness or something with the. We can make some jank with this, of course we're gonna do that. But I feel like the cards that we have are already better in the 2 mana slot. Like if you're going for a devotion deck, Yarok is amazing. You have the 2 mana, your opponent exiles a card, which is gonna be very good because you don't want to put things in your opponent's graveyard anymore. Probably with this set, you don't want to. Mill is probably gonna be bad. I feel like this set is not gonna be a smart strategy to go mill. Probably, well, in one way it is. In one way it is, because there are gonna be decks which are gonna mill themselves a lot. So in that way mills get stronger, but at the same time it's gonna be very dangerous to mill your opponent because some really strong escape cards which you maybe don't want to mill. So, Timoret seems like a janky fun card, but I don't think he's gonna really break anything. Okay, Underworld Breach is a card I think might break things. Okay. Each non-land card in your graveyard has escape. Escape cards equal to the card scored mono cards plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice Underworld Breach. We've seen these effects before. They're usually very strong. In my opinion, there used to be like, which was the original card? It was like a black card which could do almost the thing. Or I think you could play cards from a graveyard or something like that. Was super duper strong. This essentially gives you the same thing, but you have escape, so you have to exile, so you can't play your entire graveyard because everything requires a little bit of exiling. But it feels like this in some kind of ramp shell, which also mills itself a little bit, could be really strong. Like imagine having Nissa, so they can pay for all these things which you escape, and then just play up your entire deck, or in some late game scenario you just return everything, and doesn't have any restrictions except for non-land. So this seems, I would be surprised if nobody breaks this. Is what I feel when I see it. It only costs 2. You could also, if you wanted to, since it's an enchantment, you could cheat this. You could cheat this a little bit. You could run Teferi's Time Twist with Underworld Breach, and then you could exile Teferi's Time Twist, because what happens then, if I understand this correctly, it's going to exile Underworld Breach when you play it. So you can play that last spell you play, for instance, and then it's going to come back, but since it's not the beginning of the end step anymore, because it has already, because you would return it with, it's not gonna trigger, it's not, you're gonna have to sacrifice, you're gonna sacrifice it at the next end step, which is your, it's gonna be your opponent's end step though, so it's not gonna be amazing, but you're gonna keep it during your opponent's turn and can counter. I don't know. I don't know, I've talked way too much about this. It's not good. There's probably the first, no, the last card was also really good, I feel like. This also seems really good, honestly. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped, so doesn't do nothing? No, it does a lot. Okay, when Uro enters the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life, which is good. You draw a card, which is good. And then you put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. So this is like... I think about Risen Reef when I think about this card. Risen Reef does pretty much the same thing. It draws you and you may put, but Risen Reef can't put from your hand. This can also put from your hand, and you gain 3 life. Of course, you can't use the Risen Reef in the same way. Like it doesn't. Like the good part about Risen Reef is that when it's on the board, your opponent has to kill it, because if they don't kill it, you're gonna play more elementals. But Uro, they don't have to answer up. Which I guess is a weakness. But then this has Escape for 2 green and 2 blue. Exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. Which seems pretty good, honestly. So like you ramp with this and then later on you escape with it. It seems strong. It seems really strong, and it's not expensive really to escape. If you have some way of milling yourself turn 1 or turn 2. Or even just a bird, even just a Gilded Goose, this thing, you ramp the Nissa. I don't know. It's just me. It just seems strong. Just seems strong. Next card. Another insanely strong card. Warden of the Chain. 1 colorless, 1. I can't even keep a straight face. 1 colorless, 1 red, and 1 green. Trample. When Warden of the Chain can't attack unless you control a creature with power 4 or greater. Yeah, this is horrible. In every way. So, next card. Wavebreak Hippocamp. 2 colors and 1 blue. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, draw a card. Another card which goes into the counter decks. There's gonna be more cards which go into the counter decks. I think the best card maybe in the set is going to be a card for that archetype, for that countering archetype. It's like Wizard likes that archetype. I don't like it at all, personally. Yeah, the problem. Okay, the stats are horrible when you play this. It is difficult to play because it doesn't have flash, which I do like a lot about this card. Because that makes it awkward, because if you want to play this in a deck with counter spells, you have to tap out, which gives your opponent a chance to get something down on the board, which is very good. But then you can just counter, draw, counter, draw, and lock them out of the game. I mean, you're gonna be able to play counter spells like every turn. You're gonna draw into more counter spells, and your opponent's not gonna have any chance. But yeah, you need to get this down very early. You could maybe do it with like a blue-green shell, like a Gilded Goose turn 1, turn 2, Wavebreak, Hippocamp, and if you go first, your opponent's not gonna have like anything, and then you start counter. You've seen that. You and I have seen that a million times. Next card. Whirlwind Denial. 2 colors and 1 blue. Instant free spell and ability your opponent control. Counter it unless its controller pays 4. For each spell and ability your opponent controls. Oh, it can counter abilities. Oh, that's interesting. It counters everything that's on the stack. Essentially. Unless your opponent has an insane amount of mana. Ah, this is fun. What can you do with this? You can counter activations of the oven. Nah, that doesn't seem... Actually, what you can do is, like, when there's a lot of Mayhem Devil triggers or something on the stack. Just Whirlwind Denial. Yeah, pay 4 for everyone. I guess you can do that. There might be some application for this. I mean, it's pretty good as a counterspell. I mean, pay 4 is a lot. And you can counter abilities. It's probably gonna go into a lot of counter decks. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, it seems decently good. Woe Strider. 2 colors and 1 black. When that's battlefield, you create a 0/1 white goat. And you can sacrifice another creature's scry. Ooh, a free sacrifice outlet. Yeah, free. Cost 3. Well, the problem is we have the oven, which is probably never going to be replaced as a sacrifice outlet, but you can sacrifice any number of times, so it enables some, maybe some infinite action you can go with. Okay, and then it has escape 3 colors and 2 black, exile 4 other cards from your graveyard, and it ends with 2+1/+1 counter. Like, the thing is, this card doesn't seem super good, except for the fact that it has a free sack outlet, so... In a deck which needs more free sack outlets than Oven, then Woestrider is probably the way to go. But it's very few decks that needs more. So I think this may be after, like... Eldraine rotates, but then this gonna rotate also. I'll see. Let's see. It seems like it doesn't fill a role which another card, Oven, doesn't already fill. Well... Oh! And it's a black card, and it's gonna go into every mono black deck ever. I think this is even a reprint. I don't remember. You thought Ratio was good. Now you can have 8. Your target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it or a card from their graveyard. Exile that card and you lose 1 life. This is just better than Thought Erasure. They reveal their hand. You choose a non-land card. Exact same as with Thought Erasure, except you can also target their graveyard if they don't have anything in hand. So you can deal with all their escape and everything. And you lose 1. Okay, you lose 1 life, I guess. The downside, that you lose 1 life. But except for that, it just seems like upside. Yeah, it seems pretty good. And we're definitely gonna see people running for Thought Erasures and for Agonizing Remorse. And that's probably even gonna be very good to run that. Very, very good. So yeah, looking forward to that. One of the best cards in the set, probably. One of the top 10, top 15 at least. Okay, next card. Allure of the Unknown. 3 colorless, 1 black and 1 red. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library and opponent exiles a non-land card from among them. Then you put the rest into your hand. That opponent may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Oh. Okay, so this card is tricky. You reveal 6 cards. Your opponent gets 1 for free and you get the others ones into your hand. Well, this screws you over in almost every case. Okay, I mean... You can build your deck around a card like this. Like, you could have, like, things which they cannot use, but only you can use. Like, you could have Karn the Great Creator and Fey of Wishes, for instance, and have everything based on your sideboard and then just ramp or something. And Allure of the Unknown to draw some cards. And what your opponent gonna do? They're gonna use one of your ramp cards? Gonna play Karn and not find anything? Like, there's nothing really they can do with that. Fey of Wishes... Sure, they can play it, but I'm pretty sure they can't play the... They can play the creature, but they can't play the adventure part. So you're gonna get a 1/4, which if they return... Excuse me. If they return, it returns to your hand. So something like that. Something like an adventure something deck with the Allure of the Unknown. Could work. Could work. But it seems very janky. Okay. Alseid of Life's Bounty. Wow, this guy loves seed. Giggity. Okay. 1 white, lifelink. Well, we're gonna see this then, for sure. All you lifelink lovers out there. Pro Fist. Lifelink Fist. This is L. It's a lifelink fist. Okay. Sacrifice Alseid of Life's Bounty. Targets creature or enchantment you control gains protection from the color of your choice on the land turn. Ooh, that's actually not too bad. Man, if this was that you don't have to sacrifice, you just pay mana or tap it or something, that would be amazing. Then we would have like a Mother of Runes kind of effect. That would be super cool. It seems fine though. You can protect something. It's a lifelink. It's probably gonna go into those lifelink decks. It's not gonna be competitive, I don't think, but it's gonna be fine. Thancred. Altar of the Pantheon. 3 colorless, your devotion to each color and each combination of colors is increased by 1. And add 1 mana of any color. If you control a god, demigod, or legendary enchantment, you gain 1 life. Okay, so it's a ramp which gains you life if you have a god or demigod, and it increases your devotion. It does a lot of tricksy things. Wouldn't be surprised if this sees a little bit of play at least. Some devotion decks that want to ramp also into a god or something. Seems like a fine card. Fine card. To speed up, man, with so many spoilers there. Okay. An axe hardened in the forge. The stance, the battle stance of this guy. The crab stance. 1 colorless and 2 red. Legendary enchantment creature Demigod. Its power is equal to your devotion to red. When an axe or another non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 red satyr creature token with this creature can't block. If the creature had power 4 or greater, create 2 of those creatures instead. So how good is this? It's a 2/3 when it comes onto the battlefield. Well, you're probably gonna have a, red. You're probably gonna have played at least 2 other things. So you're at least gonna have 2 more mana symbols. It's gonna be a 5/3 most likely, which creates a 1/1 when it dies. Well, the problem with all these cards is if they don't ban, what's it called? My mind has erased that card because I played against it a million times. Oh my god, it's so annoying when I can't remember the card. The enchantment which pings 1 whenever something attacks. You know what I'm talking about. My mind just, no, you don't know that card. That card does not exist. The droids that you're searching for. That's what it's doing right now. I mean, you could argue that it goes in that deck because you create a 1/1. When that attacks in, it will deal 1 damage. But I think that mono red is kind of locked into that archetype until they ban Cavalcade of Calamity. Until they ban that card. Which they hopefully will do. Or we'll never see the end of it. Okay. Aphemia, the Cacophony. 1 colorless and 1 black at the beginning of your end step. If you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So this is... Sometimes it's gonna be an upgrade to Hero Precinct 1. Because you're maybe not gonna be able to double trigger this. But you get a 2/2 instead of a 1/1. It has a better body, it's a 2/1 flyer, it can block. And... It is more restricted though. You need to exile, so it needs a very special deck which mills yourself. But if you do, you can get some nice value out of Aphemia. I don't see this being super strong. But I've been wrong. I've been wrong before. Let's see. Arasta of the Endless. Wow, there's so many legends. This is like Kamigawa all over again. Is what it feels like. Arasta of the Endless Web. 2 colors and 2 green. Legendary enchantment creature spider. Reach, which all spiders have. For some reason, it seems very unreasonable. I guess the trees, they build nets or something. I don't know. They spit up. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. When an opponent casts an instant sorcery. Would have been fun if it was whenever you cast and he goes up, and have a lot of 1/2 spiders. That would be cool. That doesn't seem super good if it's your opponent. And you're gonna kill this and you're gonna get a 1/2 spider. That's what's gonna happen. Decently good against red, I guess. You can block their flyer. You can block all their dudes on the ground, and whenever they eventually kill this, yeah, it's pretty good against Cavalcade actually. So there might be a reason to play this in best of 1. Because to target this, they need at least 2 spells to kill it, which is gonna give you 2 1/2s, which is gonna be annoying for them, and it has reach. I wish that the spiders also... Oh, they have reach. Oh, that's pretty good. The Cavalcade Slayer, Arasta, like it. Archon of Sun's Grace. 2 colorless and 2 white. Flying lifelink, Pegasus creatures you control have lifelink. Oh, it's an Archon, it's on the Pegasus itself. Constellation, whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus with flying. Ooh. This is not the worst, honestly. I mean, it's easily killed, doesn't do anything when it comes on the battlefield. It's not probably gonna be super competitive. But I mean, have this and then Dance of the Mans to turn after or something and like get a gazillion Pegasus. I don't know. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna make a Pegasus deck. Another Archon. Wow, this is probably the best or worst art. I don't know which one to choose there. A A flying cow, Archon of the Falling Stars. When it dies, you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh, I thought it was your hand, but it was a super shit card. Now it's just janky. Ooh. Maybe the Archon of the Falling Stars with blood for bones. And blood for bones back this guy, get something from you. There are some really big good enchantments in this set. So there might be a time for the cow. I'm looking forward to it. Ashok, Nightmare's Muse. Legendary Planeswalker Ashok. Oh, we already talked about this guy. In summary, I think he's decent, but I think the Planeswalkers we have are... no, that's not true. That is outshined by everyone. No, he's mid-level Planeswalker. Oh no! Oh no! Here's my top pick for the best card. For the best card in the set. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna be the best card, but oh my god, that's seem annoying. Okay. Flash. When Ashok's Erasure enters the battlefield, exile target spell, so it's a counter spell, which is also an enchantment. Your opponents can't cast spells with the same name as the exiled card. So you not only counter one spell, you counter 4 spells! Essentially with this card. And when it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. Which is never gonna happen, because you're just gonna counter everything. As far as I know, there's no can't be countered spells which deals with enchantments. Let me know if there is, but yeah. This is gonna be oh, I can already see it. Oh, I wish they pre-banned this before they released it. Oh, so many salty tears from this guy. Oh well. Yeah, this is my top pick for the best card. I don't know if I'm gonna be right about this, but it just seems super duper strong. When I think about this card, I think about Cryptic Command. I know Cryptic Command is better. Definitely better than this. Cryptic Command was like 3 blue and 1 colorless. What was it? You could counter a spell, you could return a creature, you could draw a card, you could do something else for 4 mana, and you choose 2 of them. If I remember correctly. Yeah, this card seems on that level, honestly. On that level, good. You counter something and you do something else. You counter every other spell. Like, it's very, very often that you play one card, that the card you play is the card you want to be countered, because you have 2 of them, so you can just play. That's, you know, a usual play pattern. But with Ashok's Thought Erasure, you can't do that. Because if they have this shit, you're screwed if you have 2 of that card in your hand. So yeah. Also, if they counter like your Teferi Time Raveler, you're in trouble. You in trouble. Yeah, I think it's very good. Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. 2 colors, 1 blue, 1 black. Half-Truths. Been reading the Kabbalion, maybe. See, for that legendary, everything is legendary. It's normal creatures, I don't think they exist in the set. Everything has been legendary so far. It's like this world, everyone is like legendary. There's no normal people. Everyone's like running around with shoulder pads like this. Like 5 swords and do weird shit. That's what I imagine legendary people do. Menace, when Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths, enter the battlefield, target opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your library and separates them into a face-down pile, a face-up pile, put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. It's an interesting card. It's a little bit similar to the flyer. The 2/3, you gain 3 life and draw a card. It's very similar to this. But here you okay. So 1 down, 1 up, 3 cards. If your opponent's a complete dingus, he's gonna put 3 cards into face down pile or face up pile or something. That's gonna happen. We're gonna get that on tape probably when someone does that. But what you're supposed to do is you're gonna put 2 shit cards face up and 1 good card face down, so that your opponent doesn't know what that card is, so they have to gamble, or you can just, you know, mind game them a little bit. So like, it's probably gonna be like 2 lands up, and then it's gonna be like, you know, you're good. Ashok's Erasure down or something. And then your opponent has to choose, or you choose one of them. And then the other goes to the graveyard, which can also be useful with all the escape things and reanimator things and stuff like that. So really interesting card. I don't know that it's necessarily better than gain 3 life, draw a card. Here your opponent, they get to see the cards, which is a downside, and they have more information than you, which also a downside. So you're likelier maybe to make a bad choice or something. But it's a cool card. You might get 2 cards and a 3/2, which is value. Cool card. I like it. Next card, Banishing Light. 2 colors and 1 white. When Banishing Light enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. Oh, is it? What's it called? Banishing Orb? No, not Banishing Orb. The Tension Sphere. The Tension Sphere. Is that what it's called? It's pretty similar, but it's called Banishing Light. Okay. Exile non-land permanent. So this is how you get rid of all the gods and everything. I mean, it's good. We needed something like this. So. Probably gonna see a lot of play, I think. There's gonna be a lot of gods, so you're gonna need to get rid of them somehow. Bronze Hide Lion. 1 green, 1 white. It can gain indestructible until the end of turn. That's really good stats, honestly. When it dies, return into the battlefield. If What? When Bronze Hide Lion dies, return battlefield. It's an aura enchantment with enchant creature you control. And enchant creature is indestructible until end of turn and loses all other abilities. The Frackers! The Frackers seems really good, honestly. Celestian gets a good creature. And it's a cat. Can make cat tribal again. Meow. 3 for 2 is very good. And then it can get indestructible, which is very useful. And then it comes back, which is very useful. Yeah, this seems good. Seems good. I don't know exactly. There's no existing archetype which needs this card. That's the only downside of it. But the card seems strong, honestly. Next card is Calyx. Destiny's Hand. Wow, this guy is spacers. What is that? What's that word, you ask? I don't even know. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an enchantment card from among them and put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So only enchantment, dude. This is what it seems like. Okay, 4 cards. You look at 4 cards and get 1 enchantment. That's decent value, I would say. So his plus is like draw a card for an enchantment deck. And -3 is exile target creature or enchantment you don't control until target enchantment you control leaves the battlefield. Wow! Okay, so everything becomes a detention sphere with this guy. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, yeah, you're probably gonna play an enchantment before this, like the Banishing Light that we saw before. Then you're gonna play turn after, you're gonna play Calyx, Destiny's Hand. And you're gonna exile another thing under that thing. And if your opponent doesn't run enchantment... I mean, there's a lot of people running enchantment removal, though. Already. There's like... The number of times I've seen what disenchant main deck in Best of 1 is staggering. So... Disenchant, Return to Nature... I shouldn't even know the name of this card, it's just I see them so goddamn often. Because there's so much artifacts and enchantments already. So I'm a little bit afraid that the -3 is gonna be not working. Not working is what I'm afraid. It's gonna be a little bit hilarious with all these Banishing Lights banishing each other back and forth and Calyx, and it's gonna be like, I mean, in paper, like what is under what here? It's gonna be, well, I mean, you sort it out. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. Return all enchantment card from your graveyard to battlefield is a pretty strong thing to do in an enchantment deck, I guess. Not super easy to get to, though. 4 turns to get to it. It seems decently strong. The minus creature or enchantment you don't control. The minus is similar to like Theros Hero Dominaria, but Theros Hero Dominaria did not need anything. They don't need anything on the board. They could just do this effect for free. And he could plus. Yeah, I don't know. Decent one. But the thing is, he seems... I mean, he has a good minus. I was about to say that he seems similar to like Jace or something, which like draws a card. What was Jace's minus? I don't even remember. The guy which you win the game if you have no cards in your library. But this actually has a relevant minus, so I would give it a medium rating. I think it's mediocrely good, and it's gonna turn out to be the new Oko or something. I don't know. Mono Black, mediocrely good Planeswalker. Oko, well, he's fine, I guess. Actually, when I reviewed Oko, I said, and I remember this, I think he looks like extremely bonkersly strong, but I think that still Teferi, the Time Raveler is gonna be stronger, is what I said. And I think I was wrong. Because he was stronger than Teferi, Time Raveler, as it turns out. But I'm still surprised the Time Raveler wasn't banned, honestly, because it's still bonkers. So how strong it is. Yeah, that's another argument maybe against the Planeswalker, last Planeswalker looked at, because if you bounce that enchantment with Teferi Time Raveler, which is probably not going away, I mean, it's still gonna be a very large part in the metagame, that mine is not gonna do much, honestly. I mean, you're gonna delay something one turn, maybe. Callaphy, Beloved of the Sea. 1 colorless and 2 blue. Power is equal to devotion. Oh, wow, this is very similar to the red one. The power! Creatures and enchantments you control have spells your opponents cast that target this permanent cost 1 more to cast. Makes everything... But I'm happy that blue did get a super good one. I mean, it's fine. Cost 1 more to target them, that's gonna be annoying. But doesn't seem super strong, honestly. It does trigger Kiora. If you have 2 more... Well, if you have Kiora out, you need 1 more thing. Ah, goddammit. Couldn't have had 3 blue at least. Could have triggered Kiora. Okay, Careless Celebrant. 1 colorless and 1 red. When Careless Celebrant dies, it deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls. Yeah, again, might have been played if Cavalcade wasn't the only red deck we see. Chainweb Arachnir. 1 green, reach. When Chainweb Arachnir enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying and opponent controls. Equal to its it's equal to its power. This seems this is very similar to the guy we already have, but this can only kill something with flying with 1 toughness, which is nothing. I mean, Gilded Goose has 2, which is why the 3/2, which does the same thing, is so much better, because it can kill that, and then later in the game it can kill like a Cavalier of Gales or something. This can't kill shit in the air. This can kill a Healer's Hawk in the air as well. Can kill. Man. Escape. No. 3 colorless and 2 green. Exile 4 other cards from a graveyard, and when it escapes with 3+1/+1 count. This is actually pretty decent. This made me reevaluate the card completely. Escape for 5. I mean, sure, it's gonna be... Get 3 of these, so it's gonna be a 4/5. I mean, a 4/5 from your graveyard is good, and it's very good to have some early pressure on the board. Something I can do early, and if Healer's Hawk become a problem, I don't know. This guy's gonna be amazing. Wow, this art is just so weird. This looks like something... If I would learn to draw, I would probably draw this. I don't know why. Commanding Presence. Enchant creature. Enchant creature +2/+2 and has first strike. And whenever this creature deals combat damage on player, create a 1/1 white human soul token. Fun aura. But these are, I mean, if the auras don't have anything special about them, we have buff auras. They usually don't, you know, do anything. Because the creatures get killed. Dalagos, Crafter of Wonders. 1 colorless, 1 blue, and 1 red. At 2 colorless, spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifact. We already have this in the Weaponsmith. Equipped creatures you control have flying and haste. I wish this colorless was also for enchantments. That would have been cool. But it's still... That's also legendary. Every goddamn creature is legendary. Okay. Okay. I mean, if you want both Weaponsmith, like, this would enable, seriously, this would like enable the enchantment archetype. Like imagine having this guy, weaponsmith and Golos, and you have a pretty decent, and then you have that enchant or that artifact which enables you to play artifacts from the top of your library, and you can just play out every goddamn artifact. Oops, that's the wrong button. That would be cool. Competitive, no. Cool, yes. Dawn Evangel. Whenever a creature dies, if an aura you control was attached to it, return target creature card with converted bonus 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Ooh, a tricksy one. Okay, whenever a creature dies, if an aura was attached to it, return target creature. So this you can move. Let's see, is dead weight still? No, it's not in stand, right? Else you could kill something and return something in your graveyard. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to get something in the graveyard this early on turn 3. Unless you have a cat or something that you return. I don't know. There's probably some infinite combo you can make with this. I don't know how exactly, but cool card. If I would start thinking about it, it would take a million years. Daxus Blessed by the Sun. We've seen this in better quality now, but I already talked about this card. And yes, it's gonna go into all the Healer's Hawk, Johnny's Prime decks, which is cool, I guess. 1 colorless and 1 green. Creatures and enchantment spells you control can't be countered. Oh, Destiny Spinner. Why don't you have can't be countered though? Why don't you have can't be countered? You're just gonna counter you, Destiny Spinner. Oh well. Yeah, this is gonna go into every deck. Okay, so all decks are gonna be green from now on. 3 colors and 1 green. Target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste on the land of turn, where X is the number of enchantments you control. It's still a land. Oh, fine ability. I mean, it's a 2/3 for 2, which prevents countering. At least it's gonna be a sideboard card. We'll see how much. I mean, if Ashiok and everything. But this doesn't stop Ashiok's thing because it exiles the card. It's not even a counter effect. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Or did it say counter? I will have to look that up. It might be that the Ashiok thing can still counter this. Oh, that would be horrible. Devourer of Memory. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library, Devourer of Memory gets +1/+1 until end of turn and can't do block. And 1 colorless, 1 blue, 1 black. Put the top card of your library into your graveyard. This seems decent, honestly. There's a lot of cards which like constantly pushes cards into your graveyard, which can play the turn after this, and it can be constantly a 3/2 unblockable. And there's definitely ways of comboing this with other. You're gonna see an enchantment which is essentially Curious Obsession with lifelink. Could go on the Devourer of Memory and it could attack in every turn. And gain you 4 life and drawing a card every turn. That's pretty good. Yeah, this might see play, honestly. Next card. Drag to the Underworld, 2 colorless and 2 black. This spell costs 1 less to cast, X less to cast, where X is your devotion to black, destroy target creature. Yeah, in a devotion deck. Devotion to black deck. Put this in, it's a good removal card. Gonna be able to play this for 2 almost every time. I mean, play Yorick's Fenlurker and then this costs 2. Yeah. The devotion deck lacks that card, I think. The only question is this already Murderous Rider, and there's gonna be an insanely good, probably my number 2 best card in the set is a black card. So best card blue, second best card black, in my humble opinion. We're gonna see. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 2 colors and 1 red and sacrifice a non-land permanent. Wow, okay. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield and rest. This is so janky. This is so janky, but oh my god, do I want to get this off. What is the permanent I even want? I want Emrakul in standard. Oh, until you reveal a non-land permanent card. The problem with this card is can I only have one of these and one of the card which you want to find, and then everything else be artifacts and enchantments. You're sure to find that card. It's very janky. We're gonna find a deck for that card, so we're gonna find it. Okay, Dream Trawler. flying lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, Dream Trolley gets +1/+0 on the end of turn. When it attacks, draw a card. That's pretty good. Discard a card, Dream Trolley gains Hexproof. Ooh. I mean, it's 6 mana, but it's Hexproof and it's lifelink. That's pretty good. If you have a Kyora, with this, it unfortunately won't trigger. But even though you draw a card, even if you would draw a card, it wouldn't trigger because it doesn't have 4 power when it comes to play. But you can untap it even after your opponent. But he will just tap it down during the attackers, so you won't be able to play it. Damn it. That seems. I mean, it costs 6 mana. It's probably never see play, but it's not that horrible, honestly. Not that horrible. If you can give something hexproof, hexproof is strong. There's a reason they almost never print hexproof on anything anymore. Because hexproof is good. Good. Dryad of the Elysian Grove. 2 colors and 1 green. You may play. Oh, this is another one of those top cards, I think, in the set. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. This does not mean your opponent's turn. Unfortunately, else you would have been able to play there. Lands you control are every basic land type in addition to the other types. This does everything for you. It fixes all your manas. And you may play, like, imagine going Gilded Goose, turn 2, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, like 2 lands or something. Play something like, whatever, what's it called? Escape into the wilds or something, like draw an insane amount of cards and just it's gonna be insane. Top 5 cards on set, I think. This looks super duper strong, honestly. Eat to Extinction, 3 colors and 1 black. Excellent. Ooh. This, I mean, we've had a better card than this, but it's rotated out. Exile target creature or planeswalker. I think this is probably the second best card in the set. From what I've seen so far. All of them are removable. All the best cards. Exile creature or planeswalker. Look at the top card of the library. Even put that card in the graveyard. I mean, looking at the top card and putting it in the graveyard is probably worse than gaining 3 life or whatever it was, the Raskas thing. But exiling a creature or planeswalker is gonna be so necessary. Because all these gods are indestructible. Like, destroy effects not gonna work anymore, I feel like. All the destroy effects, not all of them, but a lot of them become obsolete because there's so much indestructible. You need Eat to Extinct, you need exile. I think that this is gonna go into like every black deck is what I feel like. To deal with the gods. Eidolon of Obstruction, 1 color, 1 white. First strike, loyalty abilities of planeswalkers your opponent control cost 1 more to activate. I have to check that I'm not doing any voice mods. Ruin the entire video. Loyalty abilities of planeswalkers and your opponent control cost 1 more to activate. That's actually quite good, honestly. Against certain decks, like often when you put down a 2-drop, you're so afraid that your opponent's just gonna go to Fairy, Time Raveler and bounce it. And this just... I can't do anything! Of course it can't kill anything. Would have been so good if this had like Planeswalker Death Touch or something, like really good Planeswalker killer. That would be cool, but doesn't have that. That's a first strike though. Some kind of white weenie hateful deck might work. Okay, 3 colors, 2 white. Exile target permanent upon controls with convertible cost 3 or greater. Oh, I have not even seen this card yet. Yeah, that seems very good. Again, we need to exile stuff. Non-creature spells your opponent cost 2 more to cast until the next turn. That is also very strong, okay. And third part, return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, so this is like, wow! This is good, by the way. This is like, the black enchantment, what's it called? Eldest Reborn. But better, in every way. Because here you get the shoes, on the first part you get the shoes, but permanent. You exile. Which is amazing. The second part is just super annoying for your opponent because he probably can't replay whatever you exiled. And third part, you get something back, which is just... Wow! Is this the best one? No, it's 5 mana. It can't be the best one, but... Oh my god, is this strong. Okay, now I have a reason to play white. White was very underwhelming, and then I saw this card. Okay, this seems good. This seems really good. Wow. Wow. I'm liking. Elspeth's Nightmare. Destroy target creature an opponent controls with power 2 or less. Power 2. Ooh, power 2 or less. It's a little bit restrictive with power 2 or less though. There's a lot of them that have 3 actually. Okay, target opponent reveals... some have 4 also. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from... Oh, an exile. Wow, so you get... you get a destroy, you get an exile on the second part, and the third part is exile opponent's graveyard. Yeah, this is also very good. Wow. I hadn't seen this card either. Yeah, this is super duper strong. Depends though. It depends on how the metagame is if the first part of the saga hits enough targets. Because if you don't get the first part, then it's... Nah, whatever. I mean, next turn you get the exile a card and then you get to the graveyard. But if you can get all 3 parts... I mean, the third part is gonna always be relevant. The second part is always gonna be relevant. The first part is not always gonna be relevant. If the first part is almost always relevant, then this card is just amazing, amazing, amazing. A 2-for-1, which might even be a 3-for-1 with exile. Yeah, this is just... Okay. Sun's Nemesis we've already talked about. I feel like this is one of the worst planeswalkers. But the thing is that it has escape. I guess it's better than a Johnny. White Ajani, which is almost no play. But it's the escape part. I don't know how to evaluate the escape. If the escape is really good. Otherwise, it seems a little bit not so good, in my opinion. Enigmatic Incarnation. At the beginning of your end step, if you may sacrifice another enchantment. If you do, search your library for a card with command markers equal to 1 plus the sacrifice enchantment's command marker. Put that card onto battlefield, then shuffle your library. Oh, I think I have a new favorite card in this expansion. I haven't seen this card either. Yeah, that's so good. It's like a birthing pod every turn for enchantments. Oh, I love it. I love it. There's gonna be so much nonsense with this. Like, you turn something, I don't know. What that might even be. If you want to... Like, it's a very good way, I feel like, of finding more Doom Foretones. Like, do everything into Doom Foretones. Doom Foretold, Doom Foretold, Doom Foretold, Doom Foretold, Doom Foretold. Like, usually what you want with a Dance of the Master is just more Doom Foretones, in my opinion. Because they kill everything. And it can also deal with the Indestructible. Enigmatic Incarnation, Doom Foretold, Dance of the Master? Maybe. Or maybe just go bigger, bigger, bigger enchantments. That might be something. Search for all the gods or something. All of the gods. All of them. Erebos, the Bleak-Hearted. 3 colors. I think I've talked about this guy. As long as your devotion to black is less than 5 Erebos is the creature. Whenever another creature dies, you may pay 2 life if you do draw a card. So it's a little bit similar to the Knight, which draws a card for 1 life whenever something dies. This does it for 2 life, but it's at the same time it's indestructible and it can become a big creature. And you may sacrifice another creature, so you have a sacrifice outlet, and target creature gets -2, -1, so you can kill stuff with this. It seems to go into Cat Oven, at least as one of, like every Cat Oven deck. Erebos Intervention is X and black, and target creature gets -X until end of turn, and you gain X life. This seems only relevant versus gods, but it's gonna be very, very expensive to cast. Exile up to twice X target card from graveyards. I think there's easier way of exiling things from graveyards than this, but it's nice to have added versatility. Will this see play? Maybe. It depends on how these gods, much we need to deal with them. But the thing is, usually the gods, or many of them, are dangerous even when they're in their enchantment form. So we might need, like the Elspeth things, kind of seem like the best removal now that we've seen. Maybe. It's a maybe on that way. I need to speed up. Okay, escape velocity is 1 red, and enchant creatures +1/+0 and has haste. And can escape for 2 and exile 2 other cards from your graveyard. This seems decently good in like a Krenko. I know it's janky, of course, but in like a Krenko deck with this or with season growth, this seems pretty good because you're gonna draw a card when you play this, and then you're gonna be able to escape to draw another card. Yeah, that could be cool. Eutropia, the twice favored. 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 green, 1 blue. Constellation. Whenever an enchantment and a spell under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That creature gains flying until end turn. It's nice that it gains flying, but I think just +1/+1 counters when something very conditional happens is never gonna be good enough for standard. Seems a little bit shit. Fateful End is 2 colors and 1 red. The art. Frack. Is that his ass or is that his mouth? The frack is going on. Okay, Fateful End is 3 damage to any target, scry 1. We have better cards. We have 4 and 5 damage. Nah, that just doesn't seem good. Favored of Iroas. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, Favored of Iroas gains double strike. We have better double strike. We have a double striker that always has double strike for 2 mana. So, nah. Furious Rise. 2 colors and 1 red. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, okay, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with Furious Rise. But all these effects with like power 4 or greater, they very rarely work, honestly. Very rarely work. But it's very similar to like Kiora or something in effect. But Kiora is when it enters the battlefield, so it's more versatile than this, and it can untap, so it gives you mana. But this gives you constant value, but it's only 1 per turn. Nah, I'm not feeling it. Gallia on the Endless Dance. I don't know if I talked about this already. Red and green. Haste and other cities you control get +1/+1 and have haste. This seems like the best Lord they've ever printed, honestly. Except for maybe Lord of Atlantis, I guess. Because Island Walk in Legacy, as I've said before, is pretty much unblockable. So you don't get unblockable, you get haste, which is a very good ability. And whenever you attack with 3 or more of the creatures, you may discard a card at random. If you do, draw 2 cards. So Spark double this, Satyr, buff them all up. It seems cool, seems good. Glimpse of Freedom is draw a card and escape for 3 and exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. So this could, of course, work. This is an instant in some kind of counter deck. But I think the one which we already have, which has what's it called even? Not Jumpstart. It's called Jumpstart. I think we can exile from the graveyard. 4 mana. You know what I'm talking about. I think that card is probably better than this, but it's another way of drawing cards for the instant decks. Gravebreaker Lamia. 4 colors and 1 black. When Gravebreaker Lamia enters the battlefield, search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Spells you cast from your graveyard costs 1 less to cast. Ooh. This is an interesting one. And it's not legendary. I mean, it has a name, but it's not legendary. Okay. This seems decently good, honestly. Since Escape is almost like you draw a card, so it's 5 mana and you draw cards, kind of, because you can play something from graveyard with escape effects. This even sounds really good. Escape effects. And spells you cast from graveyard cost 1 less, so we can escape that cheaper. The problem is that it costs 5. If it costs 4, I would say this is super good. This is a good card, is what I say. For 5, I think it's a little bit gimmicky still. A little bit gimmicky, but cool. Grey Merchant of Asphodel, I'm pretty sure we're talking about this guy, seems to be the one which enables a completely new or an old archetype, but it's coming back, which is Devotion Black. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life. For X your devotion to black, you can get this to be like 9 or something when this guy comes into play. And will maybe finish your opponent off with this. Hactus, the Unscarred, is 2 red and 2 white. It attacks each combat if able and maintains battlefield choose 2, 3 or 4 at random and has protection from converted mana cost other than the chosen number. Protection of course protects from you can't be blocked by things, you can't be targeted by things, even your own things. So burn and damage also, so you can't burn this out even if you have a burn for 4 mana spell which is damage everything, which is why it's a 6/1 also. So it's gonna be, I mean, depending on what you're up against, your opponent's probably gonna have removal for 2 or 3. That's usually where the removal lies in every deck. Usually it's 3 in most decks, where the good removal is. It can't get protection from 1 though, so it's gonna be horrible against the mono red. Because they're just gonna be able to always have a burn spell to kill this guy. No, wait. Hacks from each converted mana cost other than the shot. Oh, so it always has protection from 1. Oh, wow. Okay, so then it might be super good. I mean, imagine this guy rolling 4 against mono red or something. They're never gonna be able to kill it. But then again, it doesn't have lifelink, so it's not gonna do much. It's gonna be able to block them forever, I guess. Yeah, it seems like this could be good, honestly. This could be really good. Really good. It's very random what you get there. And it's gonna depend on what deck. If they have a card with that converted mana cost, you can actually deal with it. But for many decks, it's gonna be like a 6/1, which they can never block, and which they can never kill. If they, like in many scenarios, it's gonna be like that. Unless you have Chaos Wrath, I guess. Chaos Wrath always gets this guy dead. But yeah, cool. I'm pretty good also. Helio's Pilgrim, 2 colors and 1 white. When it enters the battlefield, you may search the library for an aura card, reveal it and put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. What? And you may search the library for an aura card, reveal it, and that's actually very good. We're gonna get the idyllic tutor back in this. It's a reprint. Search for enchantment. This is kind of similar. It searches only for an aura card, I guess, but in many decks, this is one of the commons which I think is gonna see play actually in constructed. 3 mana, you get the blocker, and you get exactly the aura that you need. And there might be some auras actually worth tutoring for. Heliod Sun Crowned, 2 colors and 1 white. Oh, we talked about this guy already. I'm pretty sure. Have we? As long as your devotion is to white is less than 5, Heliod is in the creature. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. So you can I mean, of course, it goes into all the Ajani, Pridemate decks and everything like that. But you can also just play it in, I don't know, Interplanar Beacon decks or something, all the Planeswalkers, Interplanar Beacons. Get all the plus counters on this, and then you don't trigger the devotion until you finish your opponent off. So like, you play Chaos Wrath, you clear up the board, then this has like 15 counters on it, then you attack in and kill them with Heliod. Could be a win con. Could be a win con. Heroes of the Rebel. 4 and 1 red. Whenever Heroes of the Rebel enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red satyr creature token with this creature can't block. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Heroes of Rebel, creature control. This is not worth talking about, it's a shit card. Next card. Ictomorphosis. Okay. 2 colors and 1 blue. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a blue fish with base power and toughness 0/1. Another shit card. We already have Frogify, which nobody plays. Idyllic Tutor, 2 colors and 1 white. You may search library for an enchantment. This is the card I was talking about. This is another reprint. Put it into your hand and shuffle your library. This might see play. There's a couple of enchantments which you might want Tutor for. I'm gonna try to be a little faster. Enchanted creature has at the beginning of your upkeep sacrifice creature. It's a way of getting rid of creatures, I guess. And most notably, you can get rid of gods with this. Because eventually they will have to sacrifice that god. But it's very easy to play around for many decks. And since one of the most popular decks right now is Cat Oven, it's not gonna do anything against Cat Oven, so I don't really see it. Kiora, best. Oh wow, this is another. I think that this is gonna be seriously. This is gonna be standard playable. The only concern I have with this card is that maybe the counter decks are gonna be too plentiful. In amounts, they might be too plentiful to hold this card back, but this card is such a good finisher. And there's so many tricks you can get with this, it's just... this is insane, by the way, this is insane. Okay, 7 mana. First you create a 8/8 blue Kraken creature token with hexproof. That's good. That's really good. So you play this, you immediately get one of the best blockers you could ever get. Next part, tap all non-land permanents target opponent's controls. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. This is essentially, in my opinion, this is you gain an extra turn. There's 7 mana, you get an 8/8 Kraken, you get an extra turn, and then also, third part of the gain control of target permanent and opponent controls, untap it. Okay, so it's Agent of Treachery, plus an 8/8 Kraken hexproof, plus what was that called? That thing which gives you another turn. And you can also Teferi's Time Twist this to get another turn if you want to. Like, you could play Kiora Bests of the Sea God, get the 8/8 Kraken, then on your next turn you're gonna get another turn with tap all non-land permanents and opponent controls, and then what you can do is you Teferi's Time Twist to Kiora Best of the Sea God, which gets you another Kraken, which you're gonna get another turn, and it's just... And it's like the best finish I've ever seen. I mean, it costs 7, yes, but that's not gonna stop anyone. Like, it doesn't matter. Agent of Treachery is also 7 mana. This is insane. The only thing I'm afraid of with Kiora Best of the Sea God is that it's gonna be stolen by your opponent's Agent of Treachery. That's the only problem with this card, because it's just so strong. So strong. I'm gonna maybe put it in every deck, we'll see. Clothis, God of Destiny. Indestructible as long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7. It's not a creature. Picking your pre-combat main phase, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a land, you add a green or a red. Or otherwise, you gain 2 life and Clothis deals 2 damage each opponent. It's very cheap and it can deal damage all the time. It could go into a control shell. It could add mana with land, so you could run like Fabled Passage and you could run the other thing. It can also exile from your opponent's graveyard, which I think is good. So I suspect we're gonna see this card played, honestly, and let's see how much. We'll see how much it gets played, but it seems pretty cute. Next card, Clothis Design. Design some Clothises. Okay, 5 and 8 green. Passion for fashion. Clothis Design. Creatures you control get +1 +X on the turn. X is your devotion to green. Well, this is never gonna see play because it doesn't give trample. Next card. I mean, Overrun was +3/+3 and everything gets trample, and trample is very, very important. Crocs, a Titan of Death's Hunger. Cool art there. Okay, when it ends battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. And when it ends battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. So you play this. Your opponent discards a card and he loses 3 life, so it's like a burning for 3. So it's very good in an aggressive kind of Rakdos deck. Like, you have to play this, is what it seems like. It's so good. And then there's escape for 4, where you get to keep this, and then it's a 6/6, and then it's gonna deal 9 damage when it attacks in, which is insane also. Yeah, this just makes Rakdos aggro so much better. This seems bonkers. Next card, Kuneros, Hound of Atherios. Wow, this guy is Greek. The Greekest hound you ever saw. Vigilance, Menace, Liveling. Creatures cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield, and players can't cast spells from... Wow, we're all at 1 hour, okay. Can cast spells from graveyards. Disables the escape. Semi-prevents the oven decks, where creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield, but at the same time, you can still Mayhem Devil kill Kuneros. So it's probably not gonna work too well. It's gonna be like a soft lock against them. It's like Hushbringer against the Cat Oven deck. It kind of works against it, unless they get the Mayhem Devil, which they always get, and then it doesn't work anymore. So it's a cool card though. It's a good stats. Vigilance, Menace, Lifelink, 3/3. Probably see play, at least in sideboards. Laguna Band Storyteller. 3 colors and 1 white. And that's a battlefield, you may put target enchantment card from your graveyard on top of your library. If you do, gain life equal to discover the markers. Cool, but probably only limited playable. Next card. Mantle of the Wolf, 3 colors and 1 green. Enchant creature +4/+4. Ooh, I mean, I know these cards are usually not that good, these like buff creature things, but I like them. When Mantle of the Wolf is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, create 2/2 green wolf creature. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So it means that if you put this on a creature and creature dies, you get 2/2s. That's not the worst. You can put this on whatever. I mean, you can put this on a mass creature token, buff it up, and then if that a mass, yeah, this could be pretty decent with a mass, honestly, because that token is then gonna be big enough to trigger it gaining lifelink. I might see some play, maybe. Let's see. It's a cool card. I'm liking Meyer Triton, and you can also put it on the unblockable things. There's also pretty good use for it. You can put it on a flyer, I guess. Probably better than something that can be blocked. Meyer Triton. Ends the battlefield, you put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, and you gain 2 life. It's very similar to the black-green card, which mills, I guess, 3 cards. But this has Death Touch and gain 2 life. It's a very narrow card, but in some decks might be good. Wow, we're gonna skip that card. Nadir Kraken, 1 colorless and 2 blue. Whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle. We already have an enchantment that creates 1/1, which sees very little play when you draw your second card, though. But this you don't need to have anything extra. It's just you can draw naturally and pay this cost. Unfortunately, it dies very easily. It could have been good against the mono red if you could, if it was like a 2/4 or something, could survive 1 turn and then start creating a lot of 1/1s which could block their dudes. That could have been cool. But it seems a little bit gimmicky, but still a cool card. As long as it's not your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for 2 and 1 blue. Ooh, this might actually be played in some counter decks, because you get the counter spells become cheaper, and then you can maybe draw some cards also during your opponent's turn. Might see some play, but it's gonna be fringe, I think. Nessian Boar. I'm trying to speed up because we're already at 1 hour. Okay, 3 colors, 2 green. All creatures able to block Nessian Boar do so. Whenever Nessian Boar becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller draws a card, 10/6. It doesn't have trample, so it's probably never gonna see play. This seems like that's Giant, which have the 8/8 haste, whatever it is, the black thing, which can just tap down by sacrificing a goat. It seems like that, but probably even worse. Probably gonna be good for your opponent when you have Nessian Boar, because it's gonna give them a lot of cards. The only thing is, all creatures able to block Nessian Boar do so. But as long as you can gamble a little bit and have like a 1/1, a Thubalepathup or something on the board, it's gonna be giving you cards every time. I'll see how that works out. Oh man, I would love to be able to read this card, but it's gonna have to wait. Stay tuned! My second channel, check it out, link in the description. As long as your devotion to green is less than 5, Nilea isn't a creature, it's Nilea Keen-Eyed. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. I think I've talked about this card. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand, otherwise put it into your graveyard. It's gonna be very narrow when you hit a creature with this. But it's quite easy to get the devotion. It's only 4 more devotion, that 4 more green that you need. And we already have the giant, which is green, and green usually like puts down a lot of creatures quickly, and this can make you both able to sustain with the ability, makes everything cheaper, which is good with like the hydras and everything that you might play with this. And yeah, I mean, you're probably not gonna play this unless you turn it into a creature, but if you turn it into a creature, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be or decent. Or decent. I don't want to be wrong. Maybe I said good, but it was just decent. Nilea's intervention: X and 2 green. Search your library for up to X land cards and put them into your hand. Put them on the battlefield. That would be amazing. Nilia intervention deals X damage to each creature with flying. So this seems like a card I will play in all my Interplanar Beacon decks to get all the Interplanar Beacons every time. And it seems pretty good for that. Find your Interplanar Beacons, put them down, gain a silly amount of life, play Bolas as Citadel, question mark, profit. Seems pretty good for that. Oh, Nyx Plumation! This is one of my favorite new cards! But it costs 7! I know! It costs 7 manas! If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times as much mana. Senor! Can you even imagine the size of that neck? It's gonna be huge! Imagine having Nissa. You double your mana. You put down Nyx Plumation. You triple your doubled manas. Every land produces 6 manas. You will probably draw your library. And you will probably die with this. But oh my god, this is gonna be glorious. Oh my god, it's one of the cards I'm most looking forward to in this set is Nyx Plumation. Unfortunately, everybody's gonna be counterspell. I want to play this, but oh, I want it now. That's all I can say. Nyx Herald, 2 colors and 1 green. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, target enchanted creature or enchantment creature you control gets +1/+1 against trample. Wow, this is boring and bad. Next card, Nyx Lotus. Has the battlefield tapped, and you can choose a color, add an amount of color equal to your devotion to that color. I think I already talked about this. 4 colors. It's similar to the land that we had back in the days, which also was Nyx something. That was probably, 10 times better than this because it was on land. But here, on that land, you needed to play 2 or something, and then you get an amount. So it was like a little bit subtracted. But here it's not subtracted, and it's very good to play this with Kyora. I mean, put Kyora down. Next turn, play Nyx Lotus. Untap the Nyx Lotus with Kyora, which Kyora also provides the manas for, and then you can probably play something else. So like if you had a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a Kyora, Nyx Lotus, untap this guy for 4 mana or something, and yeah, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be absolutely bonkers. I think it's gonna see play. I would be surprised if it doesn't. 1 with the stars, 3 colors and 1 blue, enchant creature or enchantment. Enchanted permanent is enchantment loses all other card types. Yeah, you can put this on the god and keep it, staying a god forever. You could do some nasty stuff with this, like you could turn your Ayara into an enchantment, and then it could never be killed unless your opponent has enchantment removal or something. I don't know. I mean, you could do some really obscure stuff with this, like you spark double your Ayara, then you won with the stars to spark double, and then you can copy that. Then you can get so many Ayaras, what I'm trying to say. First you can copy 1 with the stars with the 3 mana things which copy an enchantment. Then you can copy the Ayara's copies with other things also, which copies and spark. Yeah, we could do an Ayara super copy deck, so we could create. We're probably gonna create it at some point. Ox of Agonas, 3 colors and 2 red. When it enters the battlefield, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. You're probably not gonna have too many cards. It's probably gonna be draw 3 and have a 4/2. And escape, very cheap, 2 red. Exile 8 other cards from graveyard. That's a lot of cards. And it escapes with a +1/+1 counter, so it's a 5/3 when it escapes. It seems like it could be, the Phoenix archetype enabler, in my opinion. Like that archetype has almost disappeared now, but could be maybe resurrected with this. It seems like they want to do the same thing. You want to draw this card, get things in your graveyard, return all your Phoenixes, return your Oxes. Doesn't have trample, doesn't have flying, so probably not, but cool card. Farika's Spawn, 3 colors and 1 black. Escape, 5/1 black, except 3 other cards from graveyard. It escapes with 2 +1/+1 counters on it when it enters the battlefield. This way, each opponent sacrifices a non-Gorgon creature. Shit. It's shit. Next card. Flying Haste. 2 and 1 red. gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Escape for 2 and 2 red. Exile 3 other cards from the graveyard. And Phoenix Ash escapes with a +1/+1 counter. Another thing which goes into that, you know, Phoenix return from the graveyard kind of thing. And this has haste and it has flying, so it's pretty decent to return with escape. You can buff it, which is good. But as I've said, the problem right now with the Mon-Reds are that there's no really incentive to go anything but Cavalcade, because Cavalcade is super good and super cheap to create, and if you create another red deck, it's probably just gonna be worse than Cavalcade, so hopefully they'll ban Cavalcade. Again, Wizards! Again, I beg of you! Okay, Pulukranos, Unchained. 2 colors, 1 black, 1 green. When Pulukranos has spelled with 6/1/1 counters on it, it escapes with 12+1/1 counters. This guy gonna be huge. If damage would be dealt to Pulukranos while it has +1/+1 counters, then prevent that damage and remove that many +1/+1 counters from it. That's not super fun, okay. It can fight another target creature for 3, which is pretty good because we can use that as removal, and it can escape for 6. That's a decent card. Honestly, it's a decent card. It can get chumped until it dies, I guess. You can, if you want to, you can turn this into an elk or something when it has all the counters on it, so you don't need to fight something. You can also fight a lot of small dudes to remove them from the battlefield. It's a fine card. Not super exciting. Not bad. Not super good. Mediocre, medium level, but still a little bit cool, I would say. Still a little bit cool. Perforus, Bronze Blooded. 4 colors and 1 red. Indestructible as long as the devotion red is less than 5. This is not a creature. Oh, I've talked about this, I'm pretty sure already. Other creatures you control have haste. You will put a red card. Yeah, I've already talked about it, so watch my earlier video about this. Perforus Intervention. X and 1 red. Choose one. Create an X1 red elemental creature with trample and haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. A pretty good way to haste in damage, and deals, or Perforus Intervention deals twice X damage target creature or planeswalker. Ooh. Oh, so this is probably gonna replace the thing which they're on right now, which deals Slaying Fire, whatever it's called. Which can is 3 mana and deal 4 damage to a creature. This can also deal 4 damage to a creature, but it can deal even more if you have more manas. And it can deal with planeswalkers. Yeah, I'd probably see play in some red decks, I think. Next card. Renata, Called to the Hunt. Power is equal to your devotion to green, and each other creature you control that ends spell with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Nah, I don't think we'll see much of this card, unfortunately. Doesn't seem super strong. It comes in with these stats. 2, 3, 4, 4, I don't know. Okay, so it requires other things on the battlefield. Nah, no value. Nah. Okay, Reverend Hoplite ends battlefield, create a number of 1/1 white soldier tokens equal to your devotion to white. So this seems horrible, but with just a 1/2 base for 5, right? But you can get a lot of 1/1s with this if you have a devotion white deck. It might be like a finisher in a devotion white deck if you have something way of buffing them up and something. Could be pretty cool. Rise to Glory can 5 mana, 3 colors, 1 white, 1 black. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, or return target aura card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Cool that it can return an aura. I don't know exactly what aura would be costing so much more than 5 that we want to return it. But it's definitely creatures that we want to return. We have better reanimator spells as it is. But maybe when something rotates, cool to have more options. Sea God Scorn, 4 colors and 2 blue. Return up to 3 target creatures and or enchantment cards to their owner's hand. Yes! I love the bounce! Recently created a bounce deck, it's just so hilariously fun to play. Cetessan Champion, 2 colors and 1 green. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Cetessan Champion and draw a card. It's very good in an enchantment deck. I mean, it's like a like an enchantress, which also gets plus counters on it. But it's 3 mana instead of 2, which is probably gonna be its downfall. But if this cost 2, it would have been amazing. 3, it's... We'll see. We'll see. That's what I say about that card. So test and Petitioner, 1 colorless and 2 green. When down to battlefield, you gain life equal to your devotion to green. No. Shortest commentary ever. I don't know. I think it gives you 2 little life, and that can be good. So I think it's too bad of a body. Anyways, Shadow Spear, 1 color. Oh, we get an equipment in this set. Equipment gives +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink. Oh, that's actually not too bad. And 1 colorless permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Lose indestructible. That's gonna be very useful. Very useful. And then equip 2. This might be, if we see enough gods, this might be like a thing you just put in just to use the permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible, just to be able to kill their goddamn gods. And then, I mean, it's fine by itself. Trample and lifelink is pretty good to put on a creature. I think this is gonna see play actually. At least in sideboards, maybe in main decks. We'll see. We'll see. Shimmering Chimera. At the beginning of your upkeep, return up to 1 target enchantment you control to its owner's hand. Okay. There might be some things which you want to return to your hand, which are enchantments. Most notably sagas. You could play this with some saga. I don't know exactly. Some saga. Try to speed up. 4 colors and 1 blue. Shoal Kraken. Whenever an enchantment ends the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This seems slow and gimmicky. 5 manas. Seona, Captain of the Pileas. 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 white. Wow, well done text. Okay. Whenever Seona, Captain of Phileas enters the battlefield, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal an aura card from among them, put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. Whenever an aura you control becomes attached to a creature you control, create a 1/1 white human solar creature token. It's 3 mana, but you immediately draw a card from this. It's 7 cards, you're probably gonna find that aura. And then you're gonna get a 1/1 when you eventually use it. So 2/2, draw a card for 3 is not super exciting, but it has an upside of creating a 1/1 every time. This might see some play. A little bit of play. Skophos Maze Warden. 3 colors and 1 red. Skophos Maze Warden gets +1, -1 until end of turn for 1 mana, and whenever another creature becomes the target of ability of a land you control, named Labyrinth Skophos, you may have Skophos Maze Warden fight that creature. Wait, whenever another creature becomes the target of an ability of a land you control, named... Okay, so it's linked to Labyrinth of Skophos. You may have Skophos Warden fight that creature. That's pretty cool. Interesting in Labyrinth of Skophos then, what that's gonna be. Soul Guide Lantern, 1 colorless. When that's battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard, and you may tap it to exile each opponent's graveyard. It's good to have a sideboard, and good tech to have with your Karn, Great Creator. 1 colorless, sacrifice Soul Guide Lantern and draw a card. Oh, that's also nice. So you can have this as a way of dealing with Oven, but it can't really deal with Oven. Ah, I'm so sad they can't print a card that can deal with the Oven. Like this. Like something you can put into your deck and you can just cycle it if you're not up against an Oven deck. I mean, sure you can try to exile their cat, but you're just gonna keep it in reserve and return it and do naughty stuff like that. Staggering Insight, 1 white, 1 blue. This is Curious Obsession, essentially. Whenever enchanted creature gets +1/+1, and that's lifelink. Whenever this creature does combat damage a player, draw a card. Okay. So this is like Curious Obsession, but better, because it also gets lifelink and +1/+1. But it's a little bit worse also because it costs more manas. It's probably gonna see play, and would be surprised if it doesn't. And put it on a flyer or something. Have a lot of counter spells. Again. And it's pretty amazing that it also has lifelink, because then you're gonna win the race even against aggro decks with the Staggering Insight. Looks cool. Hopefully not gonna make people more incentivized to run even more counter spells. Stinging Lionfish, 1 colorless, 1 blue. Whenever you cast your first... I read your fish spell during your each opponent. It was your first spell. It is a fish though. You may tap or untap target non-land permanent. I think I talked about this guy. He seems decent in a in an instant deck because you can get some extra manas out of this guy. But it's only your first spell, so you can only get one. Maybe, that's what I say. But the fish, maybe. I'm pretty sure I'll talk about Storm Herald. We can return an aura from your graveyard. 99% sure I'll talk about this one. If I didn't, check out my second channel. Storm's Wrath, 2 colors and 2 red. Storm Wrath deals 4 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. That's pretty good. I'm pretty sure I've also talked about this. Unfortunately, can't deal with the planeswalkers usually. The planeswalkers have 5 loyalty, so it's probably not gonna kill them, but it's gonna wound them a little bit. So, and it's gonna kill most creatures. So it seems like a good card. Sweet Oblivion, 1 colors and 1 blue. Target player puts the top 4 cards of the library into the graveyards. Can be either you or your opponent, and escape for 4. Exile 4 other cards from your graveyard. So this seems pretty decent. I mean, we already have a card which mills 4 for 1 mana, and this mills 4 for 2 mana. But you might want more of this effect, so could be good. Could be good. That type of archetype. Taranika, Akron Veteran, 1 colors and 2 white. When Taranika, Akron Veteran attacks, untap another target creature you control until end of turn. That creature has base power and toughness 4/4 and gains indestructible. When it attacks. Okay, so you can play this with like a Pebble Epitome or something, and it becomes a 4/4 Pebble Epitome with indestructible. And you can also use this with a mana creature because it untaps it, so you can get some value before. And not the worst, honestly. Pretty decent, I would say. Pretty decent. Decent stats. Vigilance 3/3. Buff something up so you can get a lot of damage in. With something. Yeah, could be fine. Could be a fine card. Tectonic Giant, 2 colors and 2 red. When Tectonic Giant attacks or becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, choose 1. Tectonic Giant deals 3 damage to each opponent. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose 1 of them, and until the end of your next turn you may play that card. I think I might have talked about this card also. Man, I should have just removed them. Fine card, but not super exciting. Next turn. Temple of the Seed. Yeah, we get all the Scrylands. That's why I put it in there. Tossa, Deep Dwelling. Indestructible as long as your devotion to blue is less than 5. Thassa isn't a creature. Thassa. Mufasa. Less than 5. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target creature card you control, then return that creature card to the battle under your control. This is super good. I mean, imagine this with Risen Reef, Agent Treachery, all the cards that we love and hate and love even more. Actually, I mean, those cards are pretty fun, honestly. I like Agent Treachery, I like Risen Reef, and this makes them even better. Yeah, I mean, it definitely goes into an elemental deck, weirdly enough. Has to be, like, imagine this with Risen Reef, what's the guy which gives double triggering, and Agent Treachery is gonna be so good, and tap another target creature. A little bit of added benefit. You don't need, I don't think you ever even want to turn this into a creature. Like, it's fine. It's fine if this always stays with this indestructible aura which gives this effect, I think. Pretty cool. Thassa's Intervention, X and 2 blue. Look at the top X cards of your library, put the top 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, so if you play this for 4, you get 2 cards in your hand, guaranteed. That's like a finale, which you probably only want to play for 2, or you can counter target spell and control plays twice X. Another good counter spell. Another good counter spell. Wow, this is actually super good. It's exactly what the counter decks want. It's either draw more cards or counter a spell. Yeah, I hadn't even seen this card. This might be the best card. This might be. All the best cards are counter spells. Yay! Rack! Rack! Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Thassa's Oracle. 2 blue. Ends battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue, put one of them into your hand, and the rest the bottom of your library in a random order. Put one of them top of your library. No! Put one of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library. Oh, I thought it was one into your hand. Okay, if X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. That's pretty cool. Cool ability. There's a finisher for self-mill decks. You don't need to have the... Actually, this is a pretty good card in Seasonal Growth, because that deck has the ability to always mill itself. And then you can just easily win with Thassa's Oracle. And that deck wants cheap creatures, it wants the scry effect so that you can find the targeting cards and the season growth and everything. Yeah, Thassa's Oracle is like perfect for a seasonal growth deck, honestly. Yeah, good card. Akron War, I'm pretty sure I talked about this also. Gain control of target creature, 3 colors, 1 red. I'm trying to read as quickly as humanly possible. Gain control of target creature for as long as Akron War remains on the battlefield. This just seems super strong, because you get it for 2 turns. Until the next turn, creature your opponent control attacks each turn if able. Of course, we're gonna play this with Revenge of Ravens, and it's gonna be amazing. Each tapped creature deals damage to itself equal to its powers. It's a board wipe, which takes over something, and also makes your opponent attacks. This seems super good in my opinion. The Binding of the Titans, 1 colorless and 1 green. Each player puts the top 3 cards of the library into the graveyard, which might be dangerous because your opponent might get a lot of their escape action often. Exile up to 2 cards from graveyards. Okay, so now you solve it by removing their escape cards. For each creature card exiled this way, you gain 1 life, which is pretty good. And then you may return a creature or land card from a graveyard. So it replaces itself. You get something from a graveyard, get a little bit of selection, and you get to exile something from your opponent's graveyard. This seems decently good. We're gonna be played in a lot of decks that want to mill themselves. The Birth of Meletis. Did I talk about this card? Man! So you library for a basic plains card. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So, not onto the battlefield. You search for a land card and put it into your hand. And then you get a 0/4 wall with Defender, and last party gets 2 life. Of course, you can bounce this with the Fairy Time Raveler. You can play it again, search for more land cards, get more walls. Might even be good enough, honestly. You can go into a goalless deck, can find you all the colors that you need. But we have such good cards, so it's gonna be interesting. The first Iroan game seems amazing. I don't think I've talked about this card. Create a 1/1 white human solely creature token. Interesting that it's white when the card is green, but put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, and if you control third party, if you control a creature power 4 or greater, draw 2 cards, and last part, create a gold token. So I don't know if there's any use for the gold tokens yet. I haven't seen any, but at least you can sacrifice it or something. You can do something with it. You don't even know what that gold token is. I realized. You don't even know if it's a permanent. Doesn't say. Weird. It always says what type it is. Oh well. So with this then, first you get a 1/1, which is not super exciting. You get the +3 counters there, and if your opponent kills your 1/1, you could just flash a creature in. I guess you could have Brymon Cutthroat, or you could have the guy which bounces, the 3/1. So you can just set that you guarantee to get the counters on, and then you're gonna draw 2 cards on the third part. So think about it, you get a 4/4 and draw 2 cards for 3. That's value. That's really good value. The Triumph of Anax. 2 colors and 1 red. First, second, and third part. Until end of turn, target creature gains trample +X+0, where X is the number of lore counters on Triumph of Anax. And last part, target creature you control fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. This could work. I mean, it's kind of like an equipment, which kind of like stays equipped because it just gets... And trample is very relevant. So some kind of Gruul, I could imagine wanting this. They have creatures which could definitely fight other creatures because they're usually bigger than all the other creatures on the board. They want trample and all the things, but usually they don't have trample. Oh, well, they have the 3/3 which have trample, but except for that, most things don't have a trample. And then could also fight everything. Could see play. Could be good. Thrix, the Sudden Storm, 3 colors and 2 blue. Flash flying. Spells you cast with covered more 5 or greater. Plus 1 less cost and can't be countered. Can't be countered. I love can't be countered. And it also has flash. And it's a decent board. It's a 4/5. This would probably see play, I think. Makes expensive. I mean, this guy, I think what's gonna happen, you're gonna play Thrix the Sudden Storm, then you're gonna have that enchantment which creates the Kraken. It's cost 7. Play this on 5, end of your turn. Next turn you drop your 6th land, but it makes the enchantment for 7 1 cheaper, and it makes it so that it can't be countered. So you play that on your turn 6, and then you probably win. Honestly, because that enchantment is so bonkers. Yeah, this probably gonna see play next turn. Treacherous Blessing, I think we talked about. Was this is the first card we talked about? I've recorded 2 times, so I don't remember. Else I'm gonna cut this out. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 3 cards. When you cast a spell, you lose 1 life. And when it becomes target of a spell or ability, you sacrifice it. 3 manas. I think that this will see play with Doom Foretold and Raska, which can just eat it up. But it's only 3 cards for 3, so it's like, it's not that big of an upside, so maybe not. Oh, this I'm sure we've talked about. So, that was all the cards. Some cards are gonna get spoiled, and you will find them on my second channel. This has been 1.5 hours. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.
Shout out! Remember, shout out! Thank you everyone so much for watching, and a special thank you, of course, to our dear members in the come.
Thank you everyone so much. Special thank, of course, goes out to Blue Dragon, Adam Alexis, Magic Pistolman, Simon Lauer, Rodney Cox, Herman M, The Soft Pillow, Snick, Shamanic, Spencer Hofsty, Alex Michael, Nathaniel Nissen, Lasers at the Stun, Eric0234, Jeff Henry leading into it, Michael W, Pocky U, Matthias Pauly, Topless Investments, Gross 1107, W Lutz 978, P Label, Peter Gold, Sean Stevens, Gabriel Juvenal, Tandex, Wisa, Cudelated 23. Excuse me, Way, Mesmok 1, You Old Bassist, Dingo Scrub, Crew the Barbarian, Linkus Week, Rainbow 2002, 4K Television, You Live, Moonlight Star, Drake Edge 2000, Dave Steer, Jurassic Fart, The Swamp King, Rage Notch, Simple Human, Badass Iwanab, John Domian, Gezusaki, Owen77, Sam Williamson, Ellie Curtis, Noah BH, MC Hermes, Phasix, Fumiaki Kinoshita, Acros Ascending, J-Cap, Woki Floren, Damn Drone, Steve Draminski, Stange Brontides, Donkey Kong, Sky Surfer Zero, Tim Dutton, Jake Denley, Sonta John, Steineric Bucken, The McDuncan, Chloe, Rob Acuna, Chase Closed, John Lacava, Honsakos, Jingai, Michael Cupido, Agony Reborn, Ramen Noodles for Me, Nicolas Sanotti, Nethervex, Andrew Blank, Aaron Noble, Adam Alexis, Betsuma, Brandon Dobbs, Callisis, Mrs. Call, Balumbo, Chloe, Coop Cooper, Coop the Grace, Dan Goodsell, David Hanold, David Newman, DBK Drummer, Dingo Scrub, Dr. Jadron, Drew Styles, Eventum Tandem, Freeman Stepson, Jeff George, Infinite Draw, Javier Diaz, Kazon Magneto, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Neo Terror, Nina Longdom, Orango Mango, Piotr Staloritsk, Potty, Prince Mok, Bagok, Esquire, Rainbow, Cake, Surge Marv, Super Noodle 7, Wonder Bread, X Covenant X, Mythic Gaming, Musketeer, Mr. Thule, Tom Cute, Michael, Robert Lewis, Yamasa Ho, Adam Ruth, and Retcon. You guys are amazing! If you also want to become a Dark Disciple and help rule the underworld, then check out the join button next to the subscribe button, or check out the Patreon, link in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.
Also thank you to our badge owners on Patreon. Thanks so much.